the church itself is the greatest. It caters for every need that I have and every need that I can see that the rest of the world is really missing out on.
It's really been a way of life for me because I've had quite a few tragedies in life and I really wouldn't have been able to cope with things as well as I have.
It gives you not only a hope for the future, but strength to face the present.
It's just part of my life and something that I cherish very dearly.
That it's really great. I love it.
Australia today, our Australia, yours and mine, vital and alive. Yet to much of the world, we're still looked upon as one of the world's last frontiers. And that may very well be true. In many ways, we are just beginning to grow. And so is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. And fascinating though Mormon history and belief is, the most interesting aspect of this church has always been its people, the Latter-day Saints. Any cross-section of Australians has its sportsmen. But talk to an Australian Mormon and he'll tell you that sport and fitness are actually part of his religion.
Back him up, back him up, back him up, back him up. Go, doggy, go!
We as Latter-day Saints, we have what is called a health code, which is known as the word of wisdom, and it helps me a lot in my football, in my conditioning. We go down there and we train pretty hard as rugby or football players, and when you get off the paddock after a couple of hours of hard training, the average rugby player, of course, goes down to the pub or club, which is generally known and accepted. But you find that their profile changes a little, and they take off a lot of the hard work that they just did. I reckon myself that Mormons are the happiest and healthiest people in the world. We're the happiest because of the things we know and believe, and we're the healthiest because of this health code, the principles that we live by. That we keep ourselves fit and healthy and respect our bodies for what they really are, temples of God.
I'm a glass blower and I work at shopping centres doing displays and just making glass ornaments. I'm a Sunday school chorister on Sundays, but during the week I work with non-members and I'm always around doing the same things as people outside the church, and a lot of people don't realise that we're just average people with different set of ideals, I guess. One of the reasons why I enjoy my work is because you can see the raw piece of glass and work with it and see it become really beautiful. And it makes you feel really good to see something so beautiful being created. I love my job, but I wouldn't like to just get up in the morning, go to work and come home and that would be all there is to life. The church has given me purpose and a meaning to life and made it worth it. It gives you such a feeling of fulfillment in your life.
I've been in the church about 50 years and I'm still trying to get to the perfection. So we have to really all have a goal to try to live to. And it's not just for the juniors, it's for the old ones too. But I think it begins in the young children. It begins in the junior children, you know, the young kiddies. They're really beautiful little kids, they really are. They come in and they learn They learn reverence, they learn to be quiet, and they learn a part to be happy. Open shut then, give a little. Well, I think it gives them a way of life to be able to learn more effectively the things they need to keep them in good stead in this life that's coming. And I think it helps them to get confidence.
Building confidence and character, encouraging self-improvement. These are essential parts of Latter-day Saint teaching. That's one reason why the church finds itself a ready ally of the worldwide scouting movement.
It doesn't matter when you walk halfway up.
Give yourself plenty of rope, take it over the top, bring it up through, and underneath your long rope. The scouting movement's heavily involved in building boys' character. And of course, this is why our church wants to be associated with scouting, because the church is highly recommending to boys to build their character and develop their early years so that as they progress through life, they become stronger and better adults in our community. I was a scout myself many years ago. It's really tremendous to be able to get with the boys and have activities with them, and just like we did last night at the swimming carnival, it was a fantastic night and the boys enjoyed it, and I sure did too, being part of it.
Shuffle the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Smile. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Lift your head.
I love teaching ballet. I've taught all my life, and I hope to be teaching for a lot longer.
Closer, Nadine.
The Mormon Church is very interested in culture. Therefore, I feel it's important that the children of Mormon families learn some of these cultural arts. And there's great satisfaction in seeing the end result of a little girl that has come to you without any training whatsoever, and at the end of a few years, just to see how disciplined and how beautiful she can look. Very good, girls. Thank you very much. Very good. Very good girls.
In the Mormon Church, one of our basic beliefs is that if there's anything virtuous, lovely, or of good report or praiseworthy, we seek after these things. And to me, music seems just right along those lines. In the church, we have missionaries that are full-time missionaries, and yet we're asked that every member be a missionary. By playing in the Queensland Conservatorium Orchestra, it gives me a chance to meet people who aren't members of the church, and that way I can talk to them about the gospel and what it means to me. And in this way, I'm a missionary. I feel I can tell others about the church.
Young Latter-day Saints the world over devote 2 years of their lives to full-time, unpaid missionary work. Today, more than 30,000 young men and women serve in over 60 nations, many Australians amongst them.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello, I'm fine.
That's
Thank
great
you.
to hear.
What are you doing?
We're a couple of missionaries
Yes.
from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. My name's Elder Harmon. My companion's Elder Carter.
How are you?
Hello.
Good to meet you.
And we were just wondering if your husband was at home this afternoon.
No, I'm afraid he's not.
Well, we'd love to come back at another time and catch you and him together and just share with you a beautiful message.
You wouldn't really be interested because we both belong to St Saviour's up here.
When we're turned away from people's doors, I guess we do feel a bit disappointed because we feel that we have a very important message for that family, and those people are denying themselves the same privileges and blessings that we enjoy. We come on missions for 2 years to serve the Lord in this capacity as a missionary. We don't get paid for the work that we do, In fact, before I came out here, I worked as a trainee accountant for 4.5 years, and part of the money I saved during that time goes towards supporting myself while I'm out here.
We're sent to some part of the world for 2 years to be able to share those things which we know to be true with other people. We go and meet them and we share a message about Jesus Christ.
Set a perfect example for us when he lived upon the earth. Even he was baptised by John the Baptist too. It's a great blessing when we finally do get into someone's home. It's exciting because we have the opportunity to sit down with a family and share with them the things that they need to know in order to return to the Father's kingdom. Upon the earth, he set a perfect example for each of us. Now, as we know, the Bible contains the revelations revealed to his prophets.
I joined the church because 2 missionaries knocked on my door one morning, and I invited them in, and they told me a great deal about the church.
From the first time that the missionaries came home, we felt that they were talking straight to our heart.
I decided that I'd pray about it because I really did want to know if what they told me was true. And I prayed about it over a period of weeks, and I received an answer. And I really do know that the church is true. It's the true church of Jesus Christ here upon the earth.
Thousands of Australians every year make the commitment to join the church, often bringing about dramatic changes.
3 years ago, well, I used to drink very, very heavy. Smoke, I was like a chimney. Well, I was up here 12 months, and I was baptised, and I'm the happiest man there is now. I wandered up to the dump one day and I started finding little things, bits of brass and stuff, and toys for kiddies. The members of the church called the dump Bert's Store because I get so many things from there. Footstool, Bert's Store. Because I get a real thrill out of getting these things for the people and the kiddies too. Just give them out to the homes who needs them, to the brothers and sisters.
There you are, Leanne. What does the train say? Do you like the train? And what's it say again?
Toot toot.
Toot toot, that's right. And then you can go on it and all, can't you?
Jumbi.
Before I was a member of the church, I wasn't averse to trouble, and it sort of found me. Since I've been doing taekwondo, and certainly since I've been a member of the church, I've never even looked like getting into trouble. I teach, on average, I suppose, about 60 students a week. The church has just sort of brought everything together for me with taekwondo. The aims are perfection in both cases. In taekwondo, it's physical control and mental control, and in the gospel, it's perfection in everything, and that they just go together. And I guess the biggest contrast that I find between my life then and my life in the church now is that today I know where I'm going.
I'm a lifesaver, and about 4 years ago I joined the church, and where I'd normally do patrols on Sunday, I found that I was compromising church standards. So I had to tell the fellas down the surf club how things stood, and they understood that. They respected my beliefs and my wishes, and because of that, I don't do patrols on Sunday. On Sundays, I try and attend my church meetings and do those things that we've been counselled and advised to do, and I enjoy it.
I still have a lot of friends outside the church, but I find that since joining the church, it's really funny, they've developed a great deal more respect for me, and that they will come along to activities and really have a good time. We have quite a few youth activities. One of them is the monthly dance that we hold for all ages, really, and it's where we meet other people and make new friends, and also a place where we can let our hair down and really enjoy the beat of the music.
The heat capacity, CP equals A. I'm actually a chemist, but I teach chemistry to the chemical engineering students at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. It's very important that you realise that both those equations... From the church's point of view, the need for an education just doesn't rely on financial gains that come from that education. It also means that you have a greater knowledge of the world around you, a greater knowledge of how to be able to be involved with your families, how to be able to teach your children, how to help them and the problems they might have in society. And so in the church we tend to be very much aware of the needs for our youth, and not only the youth, but everybody, to upgrade their standard of education and their qualities and their qualifications.
I believe it's important to gain as much knowledge as you can and learn as much now, but ultimately my family and church are the most important. Well, in Brisbane today we had a warm day with 2 millimetres of rain, and our temperatures range between 22 and 29 degrees. The highest recorded temperature in the state today was 42 degrees over at Richmond. Being a weather reporter, I enjoy it. I'm also doing other things right now with various television shows and comparing, which I really like. The winds will be moderate to fresh northerlies and the seas moderate to rough. Now let's take a look at the interstate forecast. When I'm working really hard in that kind of world, the best part about it is always just going home and relaxing and spending time with my family. Back to Mike. Good night. It's the firmest foundation. It's the most important. My family and church are the most important.
This is a pretty veil. You haven't seen yourself like this before, that's why.
To Latter-day Saints, a stable family life is a tenet of faith. They want their marriages to last for eternity, an unusual view in a society where divorce and family breakdown are increasingly common.
It's wonderful and reassuring to know that you can be together forever, that life is eternal, and that marriage should be the most important thing in your life.
That's right.
And it is to us.
Latter-day Saint women claim they find in the church not only a chance to refine skills as wives and mothers, but opportunities to extend their influence far beyond the home. An address at the Sydney Opera House, televised throughout Australia, sums it up.
And in the church, we believe that the family is the basic unit of society, where husband and wife fulfill individual but equally important roles to safeguard the sanctity of the home. The home must be made the centre of a child's life, not just a place where he sleeps or calls to pick up his lunch money. May we realise as mothers and fathers in this great nation of Australia that the greatest work we will ever do is within the walls of our own homes.
All I know is that if women want to find something beautiful, then listen to the gospel of Jesus Christ.
I'm a much better person for the gospel, and I'm a much better person for what I've learnt in Relief Society.
For 140 years, the Church's Relief Society has been a vital resource to Mormon women. It's here they acquire many of those special skills they apply at home, as well as gaining added knowledge in such things as cultural refinement, family relationships, health and nutrition.
My brother, he's a good example of a man who cannot cook anything, because when his wife goes to a hospital, my mother must go to their place to help him and the family. Because even my brother cannot boil water or boil the egg. Well, now, this is a Japanese cooking book. And come in.
Hello, Sister Scott.
Come in, girls. I'm very happy to see you.
I'm Shannon, and this is Sally and Wes from the Ward Mutual. We heard you're having a bit of trouble with your heart. How are you?
Oh, I have some turns.
Young women are taught that service and sacrifice are the essence of their religion, that you can't truly be a Latter-day Saint unless you learn to give.
Oh, sometimes we need washing done.
We're always available. What's going on in church lately?
I get the news from Sister. Well, I think it's wonderful. I've had the service from the priesthood. 15 men painted all the windows and all the doorways, all the stairs, all the carport in 2 hours. And the leader, he was wonderful. He said, "Stop, boys," and they stopped like that. And I had cakes, and we enjoyed every minute. We learned to love each other very much. I'm pleased you came.
Oh,
it's so lonely sitting here.
It's lovely to come and see you.
Yeah, so we can have a look at your teeth here. Time for your checkup again, hey?
When I was recently graduated from dental school, I was called to serve as a health missionary. I had to interrupt my dental practice to leave for 2 years and go and work in Peru, South America, as a health services missionary for the church.
You've been cleaning these
It was a really phenomenal experience, teaching the people and trying to help them elevate their standard of health.
Oh, that's terrific. When are you going to get your 2 new
It
ones?
was really amazing to me that the church is so interested in helping nations as a whole elevate their standard of living and trying to help them live better lives.
We as Mormons are like any other people. We find that there are times when we do find that we're struggling to exist, we're having troubles, and we have been asked and taught that we must be able to sustain ourselves. And the purpose of this welfare farm which we have here is that very, very thing. Many people have got no idea of farming or even home gardening, so by them coming out here, we're able to explain to them the method in which way to prepare the ground, where it's necessary to nurture it, in other words, fertilise it, how to tend the crops when they come through. The people develop their talents in farming so that we'll be able to fend for ourselves, we'll be able to supply the nourishment for our families and be able to be self-sufficient in their own right.
Thank you. Was there any more?
Just nicely and ripened. Get the ladder out. Oh, the flying foxes are taking one.
Latter-day Saints are taught to work for what they get and to avoid dependence on government handouts. Yet service to those who are in genuine need is a requirement of every Mormon family. Since Mormons also believe the family can last for all eternity, they show a keen interest in genealogy and family history.
Oh, look. Remember this? In Collins Street.
So that's going back. That was before we were married.
Yes, a long time.
History is very important, but things need to be recorded and put down, and we're encouraged to do this in the church.
In the Book of Remembrance, you put back the most vital, shall we say, incidents of your life. It's a great experience. This Book of Remembrance is not really for you personally, but for those who come after you. It's for your family. It's for your grandchildren. To have a look at something that their grandfather did many, many years ago.
Yes.
He's grown up now, of course.
It's changed our life. Our family's grown in love and understanding towards each other. We spend more time with each other. We progress as a family, and we've got goals for eternity.
Really, I don't really know where we'd be without the gospel, and it certainly makes us so happy to know that we've got really good things to live by.
The church has taught us to appreciate the traditions of our own people and to value them for what they are, because the Aboriginal people do have a great heritage, and I think I've come to realise, become proud of what I am. It's given me great purpose in my life, a great many goals and aims, and it's brought me great happiness, incredible riches in fact, and I think my testimony is my greatest treasure.
Mind, body and spirit. All Mormons are encouraged to develop each of these to their fullest potential, and the soul of the church is its people.
The church itself is the greatest. It caters for every need that I have and every need that I can see that the rest of the world is really missing out on.
It's really been a way of life for me because I've had quite a few tragedies in life and I really wouldn't have been able to cope with things as well as I have.
It gives you not only a hope for the future, but strength to face the present.
It's just part of my life and something that I cherish very dearly.
That it's really great. I love it.
Off the paddock after a couple of hours of hard training, the average rugby player, of course, goes down to the pub or club, which is generally known and accepted. But you find that their profile changes a little, and they take off a lot of the hard work that they just did. I reckon myself that Mormons are the happiest and healthiest people in the world. We're the happiest because of the things we know and believe, and we're the healthiest because of this health code, the principles that we live by. That we keep ourselves fit and healthy and respect our bodies for what they really are, temples of God.
I'm a glass blower and I work at shopping centres doing displays and just making glass ornaments. I'm a Sunday school chorister on Sundays, but during the week I work with non-members.
The most interesting aspect of this church has always been its people, the Latter-day Saints.
Hang on. Hey, bro. Help.
Any cross-section of Australians has its sportsmen. But talk to an Australian Mormon and he'll tell you that sport and fitness are actually part of his religion.
Back him up, back him up, back him up, back him up. Go, doggy, go! Go on, Mike!
We as Latter-day Saints, we have what is called a health code, which is known as the word of wisdom. And it helps me a lot in my football, in my conditioning. we go down there and we train pretty hard as rugby or football players. And when you...
I'm always around doing the same things as people outside the church, and a lot of people don't realise that we're just average people with different set of ideals, I guess. One of the reasons why I enjoy my work is because you can see the raw piece of glass and work with it and see it become really beautiful, and it makes you feel really good to see something so beautiful being created. I love my job, but I wouldn't like to just get up in the morning, go to work and come home and that would be all there is to life. The church has given me purpose and a meaning to life and made it worth it. It gives you such a feeling of fulfillment in your life.
Australia today, our Australia, yours and mine, vital and alive. Yet to much of the world, we're still looked upon as one of the world's last frontiers. And that may very well be true. In many ways, we are just beginning to grow. And so is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. And fascinating though Mormon history and belief is,